Good night, everyone. Tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Summer Chair Spirits Around. I'm here to give you a word and some news on tonight. First, we're going to start with the news. We're going to start with the retirement Social Security benefits. To protect and save Social Security benefits. So, also, I would say SNAP food stamps. Because the food, meat, everything is so expensive now. So, they need their food stamp. You know, well, we still have to do some cutting. Still have to do some cutting. So government program welfare benefits will be cut. You know, if we get many people as possible, to work, will be taxes. Will be taken out, and that will go towards the budget. So also all immigrants, who are here in the United States have to also work and pay taxes. So no more free welfare benefits, unless you are pregnant and disabled. So this is how this program will work. When you are on welfare, if you're disabled and you're pregnant, you can receive welfare benefits. But if you are not, you have 8 months to find a job, or your benefits will be cut off. So when you apply for welfare, from that time forward into 8 months, in between that time you have to find a job. So there are temporary service also. You can go to there will help you find jobs, to help a job list on the board. So if you have children, they also have a program, will help pay for the child care, not for the whole thing. You might have to pay the balance. An immigrant, soon as y'all come to the United States and y'all get settled and you apply for welfare benefits, you have from that time on to 8 months to find a job. Now that's a long time to find a job, because sometimes you don't take you but 30 days, 1 to 2 months to find a job. So you have a whole 8 months, to find a job. So you all have to work and pay tax. You see how tight the ceiling was, and it still was, too much cuts, so we all have to, start paying taxes, to help the budget. So Social Security benefits will be saved. Now we have to save the Social Security benefits, because the elders, that's their only income, and they work so hard, to get to that point to receive Social Security benefits. You know, um, SNAP food stamp also will be saved, because the meat and food is too expensive, so they have to receive their food stamp. The only thing will be cut is the welfare, and that's after 8 months. You know, immigrants coming down here, you all have to work and pay taxes. You know, and anyone, if you're not pregnant, you're not disabled, so you have to work. We have to get everyone, you know, to work to pay taxes. So we won't be in a tight budget like this here again. So I also have a word for you today. So we're still talking about David. So now David and Bathsheba. So now David about to get besides himself. He about to start being dirty like Saul was. So they're gonna come for 2 Samuel chapter 11 verse 1 through 27. Now in the springtime, when the king go off to war, David had sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. So they destroyed the Ammonites. So David was good in that. But David remained in Jerusalem. So he remained in Jerusalem. So the springtime had went to war and put an end to the Ammonites' power. From this time on, the Ammonites were subject to Israel. Because they got David for the king. So they destroyed all the Ammonites. So one evening, now Now he remained in Jerusalem, right? So one evening, David had got up from his bed and he walked around on the roof. Now who gets up out of their bed, and go on the roof and just start walking around? David do. David got up. He went on the roof and started walking around the palace, and from the roof, he saw a woman bathing. So that was amazing for David. So the woman, he said the woman was very beautiful. David focused on his own desires, on watching this woman, bathing on the roof. He didn't stop watching. So when temptation came, but he is a man, he just kept on looking. So this woman was beautiful to him, and so he sent someone over there to find out. Go over there and find out who she is. See if she's married, see if she's single. To go see, what her name is. So he sent someone over there to get some information about her. So when he did came back, they said, oh, okay, she's married. She don't have no kids, So that didn't faze him at all. So now David know, it's against the Israelite, law, to take a married woman. But see, David about to get beside himself. Remember how innocent he was at first? That same way Saul was. So David is deep into this woman. And he have, he just got to have her. He just got to have her. So he sent a messenger over there, to have her to come to him. So she didn't say no. She didn't struggle. She went. And when she went, she slept with David. And also she was already purified uncleanness, meaning she was on her monthly period. Did not even tell David. So she went over there willingly. So now he sent someone to bring her to him, and she on her monthly period, but she slept with David anyway, and then she went home. Now, how you do that? So now sometimes it only take one time. Now she did that one time, and now she is pregnant, and she sent a word to David. So she don't know if she's pregnant, but David, it had to be David, and her husband, So she purified herself from her uncleanness, meaning that Bathsheba had just completed her ministration, So David knew she was married, and the Israelite told him that's against their law. He said that's against his law. So does Bathsheba bear any responsibility in her sexual encounter with David? Or she know, she knows she's married, and she should have said no. So both are responsibility. Now the Bible does not mention Bathsheba resisted. So they didn't say she resists. They didn't say she said no. But it did say she went. So she went with David, so willingly. She could have said no. She could have said, well, I'm married. No, I don't want to go. She didn't say that. She was on the roof bathing, on her property. Now, she was on her property. Do we think it was inappropriate, for her to be on the roof bathing? She owned her property. Is she wrong bathing on the roof, or David wrong for watching her? He did not respect her privacy, and David continued on looking at her. So I don't know. Some people bathe, I guess back then they bathed outside on the roof. Do we think she's wrong? Or was inappropriate to be up there on the roof bathing, but she was on her own property? Or do we think David was wrong from being on his property and just watching her? So both play a part. Both play a part. So David heard she was married, but his lust took over. David felt that he is a king and he can have who he wants, and that's how it was back then. That's what it said. You know, when it was kings and stuff, you know, whoever they want, they can have whoever they want. And I guess that's why she probably was scared. That's why she probably did say no. You know, so now David heard she's pregnant, and now he sent this word to Job. So now David had want to have a husband killed. You know, so now he in love with this woman, and now the woman pregnant for him. You know, so now the husband got to get out the way. You know, so David told her husband to go to your house, wash your own feet. You know, so her husband left the palace, you know, in a gift from the king, and said, you know, so he's trying to cause trouble, you know, at home so she can put him out. You know, he's trying to have her that, you know, for her to think that he was somewhere else. You know, so her husband had slept at the entrance to the palace, you know, with his master, you know, the servant, and he did not go home. That was a plot that David had came up with, you know, so David had told her husband, why you ain't go home? You know, so his plot got all messed up, got all screwed up. David asked her why you didn't go home. So David said, you know, you went to the military, you know. So he said, yeah. So campaign, why didn't you go home? You know, so David and Bathsheba had a choice to make. They had a choice to make. She could have said no because she's married, and David could have not keep on pursuing her because she's married. You know, so David and Bathsheba had a choice to make, but now the decision they made, you know, affect the course of their lives. You know, so now they caught between a brick wall. You know, now the choice that they made lead them a child and a long consequence. You know, so now the choice that they made, you know, the choices they made. Now the baby's involved. The husband is involved. That's why he's trying to move the husband out the way. You know, so David trying to cause trouble in their house. You know, because he want Bathsheba to think he was somewhere else so she could put him out. You know, so they could break off. And then because he want his wife. He want the man wife. But David's plot did not work. You know, so now David have another plot. He gonna keep on coming with stuff because he's trying to get the man out the house. You know, so he can have the man wife. You know, so he come up with another plot. You know, now this time it's not that he want pretend like he with another woman. Now this time he want the man dead. You know, so David had wrote a letter to Job and sent it, you know, with her husband, and he wrote, you know, have her husband, they're going to take her to battle. Make sure you put him in the front. You know, get the battle, get the walk going so hard where he going to be in the front, you know, so he can get hit and get killed. You know, so fight, you know, so then he withdraw, you know, from him, so he will be struck down and die. So they want to make sure they put him in the front. You know, so David put both Bathsheba and Job in difficult situation because Bathsheba knew, you know, it was wrong to commit adultery, but she didn't refuse David. Maybe she was scared. Maybe she thought she was gonna be punished. You know, David was the king. You know, or maybe she thought David was gonna put her to death, and she would have said no. You know, but Job did not know why David wants to kill her husband. He didn't know why. You know, so now Job did what David had wanted him to do. So the husband at the place where he knew the strongest defense was. Put him where the strongest defense was. We got him in the front. And when the men of the city came out, fought against them, you know, some of David's men, you know, got killed. You know, because see, they were supposed to be by the husband, but when all that fight started breaking out, they were supposed to move out the way and let him stay there by himself and get hit. But it didn't work like that, because a lot of David's men had got killed along with her husband. So David plot, you know, and he wanted the husband dead, but David's men fell and also got killed too. You know, so David is angry that his men got killed. Now, it was his plot. So now he angry that his men had got killed when they weren't supposed to get killed. Now he mad. He said, "Well, why y'all got so close? Y'all weren't supposed to get that close. When the fight broke out, y'all supposed to back and get out the way and just leave him in the front. But that's how it is when you want to be evil and you're trying to plot. So now your man had got killed right along with the woman husband. So when a woman husband, when she found out her husband, was dead, she mourned for him. And after the time for her to stop mourning, see, David left her alone, let her mourn and everything. And when all that was over with, then he sent for her. He said he wanted her to be his wife. So what David done displeased the Lord. David was fine. God was fine of David. He was doing good up until now he the king, by itself saw out the way, so he started to act like Saul now. But God was displeased what David did. He slept with the man's wife, then got rid of the woman husband, and then turned around and married the man's wife. So David saw the woman on a rude basis, and he fell in love. He didn't stop, until he had her. And he heard she was married. He sent his men over there to find out about her. But it didn't stop David. He slept with her while she was on a monthly period. And she began, she got pregnant on the first try, and now, God, he went against God's law, to be with a married woman. And David wanted her husband out of the way. He wanted that woman so bad, so he had to get her husband out the way. Now the first plot was he was trying to make like he was with another woman and all that because he wanted the wives to put him out so he can have her. But that didn't even work out, So and then David tried to get him drunk and all that. And then he told him, "You go home." He still didn't go home. He wound up slept on David's step. So David now woke up. "You still didn't go home?" The man was drunk and everything. He know how his wife would have been. But see, that's why David did that. And both of the plots failed. So the third plot was he wanted the man dead because he not following instructions on the other plots. He kept on was supposed to go home, but he stood and slept on his steps both times. So David plotted for her husband to go to war and get killed. In the mix of the battle, David's men got killed also, and David was mad because his men weren't supposed to be that close and weren't supposed to get hit. So when she was finished weeping, David married her, but all what he did, all what he did to get this woman, it had to please God. Now, he worked so hard to get this woman here and must have forgot about God. And normally every time he go to war and everything, he got to consult God. But now, since he wanted this woman, he didn't consult God at all. Because everything had to go. He went to so much trouble to get this woman. And it displeased God. So we talk about there still needs some cuts going on, but at the same time, we got to save the retirement on Social Security benefits. We got to make sure we save that, and so and I forgot to tell y'all about the and since we keeping the SNAP food stamps, because the food and meat is so expensive, so we got to keep the food stamp, but we will be cutting the welfare benefits. You will be on welfare for 8 months, but in between the 8 months you have to find a job. Everyone have to work and pay taxes. Now since we doing that, since you have to work, what not be getting the benefits, now since the welfare will be cut off after 8 months, I am raising the minimum wage. Now I know in Louisiana the minimum wage is still $7.25, and it been like this since 2009. But if you live in other states, and y'all minimum wage the increase already, this is not for y'all. So I raised the minimum wage here for $11.25 an hour. Because Everyone have to work, and pay taxes because the budget is so tight. So welfare will be cut off. So minimum wage have to increase. You will continue on getting SNAP food stamps. Social Security will be saved. And if you're able to work, you have to work to pay tax. If you're disabled and you're pregnant, then you continue on getting the welfare benefit. Well, you're able to work, you have to work. Really, the welfare benefits supposed to be temporary. I remember in the 90s, they were supposed to do the same program I'm doing. They were supposed to do that then. It didn't even work out. So many people is getting welfare and it's supposed to be temporary, not to get comfortable with it. So we need everyone to start working and everyone to start paying taxes. So that way, and you got so many immigrants coming down here, they also have to work, and pay taxes. That will help the budget out so it won't be so tight, because we still needing more stuff to be cut. So this one of the things can't be cut because they was trying to proceed this in the 90s. 1999, I think they was trying to do this program and it didn't work out. So we need to try this program one more time, for the budget. Everyone needs to work and pay taxes. You continue on getting your food stamp, you continue on getting your Social Security, benefits that will be saved for the elders. But the welfare benefits supposed to be temporary. So you back then they give you 6 months. I'm giving you 8 months. And it don't take you 8 months to find a job. Everywhere you go, you're seeing for hiring signs. You go temporary service. It's kind of easy to find a job now because everywhere you go, everybody hiring. So everyone will be able to find a job. Because you can't be having the program temporary now. So you will not have the benefits for a long period of time no more. It will not be free. So when you apply for welfare benefits, you have to remember it's gonna be temporary. So that we talked about that. We talked about David Bathsheba. Now this is first sin. He had multiple wives, but they was not married. Now this is the first woman that was married, and he loved her so much because he saw her nude on top of the roof, bathing. So he had to have her husband to move out the way, And so he went through so much trouble to get this woman, and then realized he was displeasing God. So that's all I have for you today. So y'all have a blessed and safe night, and I see y'all on the next video.